So our last group took a stab at solving a problem that all of us web designers and programmers are familiar with. And honestly, I think they produced one of the best implementations I've seen yet. So let's have Agile-Armature take it away.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in. I'm Thomas McInerney, here with Meg Suter, Ray Coti, and Dave Martin. We're the team behind Agile-Armature. Agile-Armature is a what you see is what you get wireframing composer. It generates HTML and CSS based on a drag-and-drop layout that users create. Designing even a simple user interface can be time-consuming. You have to develop a layout, write HTML, add CSS, and hope it comes out okay. Agile-Armature streamlines this process by writing HTML and CSS for you. When writing full-stack apps, this can sometimes add complexity to the app. So our editing layout allows users to create their own compositions. You choose from standard web elements such as divs, paragraphs, headers, and forms to create your composition. Here's Meg with more details about the editor.
Thanks, Thomas. So we wanted to give users a lot of flexibility as they're designing their layouts. As you said, there's a number of traditional pieces that you guys are all familiar with, from forms to simple images and text. And the idea was that they could drag, drop, resize, layer them up, add what they want, take away things that they decide aren't quite working, and essentially make very complex compositions, but also work simply and incrementally. Now, if you don't like to work free form, we have a number of visual guides like the offsets for different media at the bottom, also the ability, if you really need it, to see your 12 columns. So anybody with an array of experience can lay out an app. Ultimately, Agile-Armature detects spatial hierarchies and clustering of spatial relationships, as you can see. And so you don't actually have to understand that. Ultimately, we let users preview their design at full scale with some little bub in lorem ipsum to see what they're going to get out of the app. And then if they like it, they can save their layout and go to the point where they can actually create a group. Now, as you can see on the upper left-hand side, a group allows you to not just have one layout, but to create several pages. So you can design multiple variations on that single layout for different ideas of what you want. You can work from your own designs, or you can pull up templates from the public database. That way you can jump into designing right away. And Ray's going to talk about what you get out.
In addition to the preview, users are also able to view the code with a click of a button. The HTML displayed is a direct representation of the layout currently being built. If users absolutely love the design they've made, they're able to download it to use for their projects. The core technical challenge of Agile-Armature was translating the spatial relationship of boxes in a layout to hierarchies in HTML. We approach this problem in 3 steps. First, the visual elements check their environment for other elements either within it or enclosing it. Second, when the user views their code, our algorithm uses these relationships, finding the largest element and things in a row or column with it. As it is doing this, it applies the appropriate CSS tags for margins and alignment. It then goes on to the next largest element and so on, forming clusters of new divisions. Finally, we make one last traversal of the hierarchy to output the CSS and HTML you saw earlier. And now I'm going to hand off the mic to David, who's going to close us out.
Thank you, Ray. So this idea that Ray discussed of using the spatial relationships between boxes to develop our HTML hierarchy gives our users a lot of flexibility when it comes to creating their layouts. There's no need to explicitly assign any boxes to a row or a column. Really, any element can go anywhere. So in order to make that possible, we needed to have a single source of truth about the representation of all of our layouts. So to that end, Redux was our best friend during this project. It allowed us to keep data, or a single source of truth and data, of all of the boxes on any given layout. From there, it was really no problem to allow users to save to or load from the database and reliably switch between different layouts or groups of layouts. I speak for the whole group when I say that this was a really challenging but very rewarding project to be a part of. We worked through some really complex problems to develop something that is accessible and unique, and I think that all of us could use it. If you want to check it out, you just saw the URL. You can go to agile-armature.com and also check out the source code on GitHub. Thank you very much.
Nick. I don't know what's in the coffee in Chicago, but it is some pretty impressive projects over there.
Yeah, I thought that this I thought it was fantastic. From the execution to the design, it looks beautiful. It actually outputs beautiful code. It's completely usable and functional. And the problem they solved is something that, companies like Dreamweaver, or at least products like Dreamweaver, have been trying to do, for over a decade.
I don't think I've seen a good solution for HTML layout that didn't require you to explicitly set up the flow, or just generate a bunch of absolutely positioned crap. And so for you to implicitly assume or implicitly derive the layout, that's really clever. I think that's I feel like there's like a patent or something there that is worth a lot of money. So definitely keep at it. I have to say, after seeing the 3 Chicago projects, I'm very impressed with what everyone's accomplished there. A great game, a really cool web application, and something that I can really be proud of showing to my kids. So I don't know if you have additional comments, but and wow.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thanks, Nick, for reminding me about Dreamweaver. That definitely brought back some good memories, and I was actually thinking about that watching this most recent project, that it really takes the annoyance out of web design, like the initial layout generation. So really love it. Great work by the team there and the instructors.